Well, we're gathering people together in support of people living with ALS. The money stays in BC, 60% of the money stays in BC that's raised today for patient services, and the big part of it is awareness.
This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the cream is gonna rise. This is what you really didn't know. This is where the truth don't lie. You find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna drop everything, run out and crank up their car.
We need the money. We need to figure out how to cure it. We need to raise awareness. It's just, we need to do it. Most importantly, because there is no cure, we need to keep the patients comfortable. So that 40% or the 60% that we use for patient services is really important. Wheelchairs, lifts, caregivers, we need that money.
They just show on up with their big old heart. You find out who your friends are.
The ALS Walks is a signature event across Canada that raises funds for patient services to support people living with ALS, but also ALS research. In British Columbia, our core services began back in 1981 with an equipment loan program. Since that time, we've built up an inventory of almost 3,000, 2,800 pieces of equipment. All the medical equipment that you need while living with the disease so that you can stay at home. Everything from a walker to a full power tilt wheelchair, hospital beds, lifts, scooters, beds, you name it. Communication devices in particular are really important for people when they lose their ability to speak. We have some state-of-the-art communication available to them. So it's huge. I mean, when you think about a power tilt wheelchair, that's $30,000, and pretty much every patient eventually is going to require a power tilt wheelchair. Life expectancy of the chair maybe is only 4 years, so we're constantly having to raise funds to replace that equipment, but also the transportation to get that equipment out to different parts of the province and up into the Yukon. And our guarantee is 2 business days from when we get a prescription for a piece of equipment, it's delivered to your home.
Ooh, I pulled that one bad.
Everybody's journey with ALS is different, but the average cost per person over the course of the illness, just for the equipment, is about $140,000. That's why the ALS Society raises funds to support those families so they don't have to put that money out. You know, as the disease progresses, the person probably can no longer work, so therefore that paycheck to the family is missing, and eventually the spouse becomes the caregiver, and that's affected too. So it's a real ripple effect into the financial costs of the disease.
It's a disease that knocks you off your feet and eventually does you in. But in the meantime, let's make it aware to everybody. That's my goal.
Amazing courage and positive attitude and really coming together. As I say, they are my inspiration every single day of my life.
I thank all the people behind me because they did the work. I'm just the guy out front that's there. And it just helps me know that my friends and family and that are all behind us on this.
When ALS hits your family or you personally have the disease, there's lots of reasons to be angry and there's lots of reasons to just stop. And I've never met anybody living with ALS that has that attitude. They just keep going and want to help other people affected by the disease.
They just show on up with their big old heart. You find out who your friends are when the water's high.
In British Columbia, because of the generosity of our donors and our amazing group of volunteers, Team ALS BC and Yukon, we're able to operate our society with less than 15% administration costs. And actually last year when we went through the audit, it was closer to 8% administration costs. So we now can take that money and invest it where there's need. So if you live in the northern part of the province and you need to come to see these specialists at the ALS Centre, which is located in Vancouver, we actually can fly you and your caregiver down so that you can get the best care possible from the ALS Center, as well as we put them up overnight because it's a long day for them to travel. Also, if somebody becomes too ill that they can no longer travel to Vancouver, we actually have mobile clinics, and we bring the specialists into communities and hold mobile clinics to see those patients, just to ensure that they're getting the very best care possible. We have a psychological support program for patients and families to help them deal with the emotional side of ALS. And one of our newer programs is our kids camp, Camp Alohilani, which is bright sky in Hawaiian. It's the only kids camp in Canada and, as far as I know, North America. And these are kids who are directly affected by ALS, be it a mom, a dad, or a grandparent in their life living with ALS. They get to come and enjoy a beautiful 4-day camp the first weekend of July every year with other kids that are on the same journey. And it's absolutely amazing, you know, the attitudes change and just the support network that they can build with each other, because it's very difficult if you're the only kid in your school, the only kid in your community that has somebody living with ALS. So that's a support program that we have for children. Canada, I think because of the WALK campaign and that revenue generation for research, more researchers are attracted to come to Canada to operate their labs. You know, 13 years ago when there were no WALKs for ALS in Canada, there were 4 labs in Canada. Now we have over 100 labs in Canada researching ALS, so that's very exciting. There's no reason in the world that people can't continue to live with ALS if we have an effective treatment. And that's why the WALK campaigns are so important, because it is the fund generator for research, the biggest fund generator for research. And we need to keep moving forward together till we get to the end result, which is a treatment for ALS.
More than anything is you know, friends, business acquaintances that I've known over the years, family. It all brings everybody together. And when you see that person the second or third time, wow, you know, it's like a small family, but a huge one. The more people that know about ALS, the more people are aware of it, the quicker a cure will come. It's not there yet, but it will be.
They just show on up with a big old heart. You find out who you